What's up, bloodies, and welcome back to the Don't Get It Twisted podcast. I am here with Belo and lovely Miss Dia Nueva.
You what's
We're
pop?
back for better.
Let's get it. Let's get it. We got a couple topics today. You know what I mean? What's going on in the world? Um, Follow along. Today, we're not going to do the alpha versus beta, but we're going to touch on a lot of topics, and the topic is put it all on the table.
Today, we're just going to put it all on the table. What's the tea? What is going on in our communities, in our worlds? Even though we're all in different places, we can all relate to the same things. So, where should we start?
Woman still $1 million jury.
All right.
Wow,
So,
sleeping.
okay. So, if you are from Atlanta, then you probably heard on the Atlanta Scoop page that there was an incident that happened where the police say an Atlanta woman stole $1 million worth of jewelry from a man while he was sleeping. I guess they were strangers to each other. He took Shorty out on a date and they decided to go back to the room and did whatever. He fell asleep and she was plotting the whole time and she stole his shit and she got up out of there. And honestly, personally, I don't feel bad for him because you need to stop tricking and you need to get home with your family. Don't be loose like that around strangers. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah,
you're
right.
with
You
a
gotta wait.
woman that you know and you trust, you're not going to be slipping like that. Why would you take off all your valuables and then fall asleep around a woman you don't even know?
Facts. You got to do that. But it's one of them things. If you know, out with a woman, y'all having time, a good time, y'all go out to eat. You know what I mean? You smash, she knock you out. It's all a cycle. But like,
I feel like that's like saying, "Oh, don't go to a bar as a female because you have the option of getting roofied."
right,
Like
right,
nobody should just steal your shit. That's like if you invite someone to your house and all your valuables are out, like, and then
But
you
it's a
rob.
different context because he's obviously meeting someone on a first time basis and then trust her with everything. You know what I mean?
She's a trick and she's a thief and she stole from
She is
multiple
that.
people.
She is that, but he's the
Mad
trick.
people said, like, there was mad comments and someone was like, "Yo, she got my boy like 3 weeks ago." So
damn.
Shorty is out here doing it, and I've worked in the club. I've worked alongside people who do this shit regularly. And I, as a bartender, I used to actually kick girls out the club. Like, "Yo, you work here, but you got to get the fuck out of here because you plotting to scam people who put my lights on and the roof over my
Right.
head.
Into
Like,
the
fuck
club.
out of here." I think that shit is so not cool. People work really hard, and people are pieces of shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think the world is getting worse.
Oh yeah, especially in Atlanta, man. I follow these Instagram where all they put is negativity, man, and it make you don't want to go outside. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Like, if you have $1 million worth of jewelry on a date, you're gonna be careless with it because you have way more money than if it's just $1 million in jewelry. You have way more money, you have way more assets, you have other things. So that jewelry isn't like that big of a deal. However, just to steal anything, whether it's jewelry, money, food, like that's just crazy to me.
She's stupid anyway because you
He
went out.
obviously had to give her something also.
Right, but she went out with this guy, and like she don't think the camera saw her making moves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy because like
With the amount of cameras out today, why would you even pull a stunt like that and think you're not going to get caught?
right, even Channel 5. I can see if you met up with a guy off Tinder and then y'all just went straight to his crib or something, then you stole. Okay, cool. Y'all went out on dates, like I believe. So it's crazy.
A date, a meetup, whatever. Like, I think that she's shiesty.
She's definitely shiesty, but it's just like there's shiesty people in the world, so you got to be careful.
Gotta be careful. I mean, yeah,
Definitely have to be careful. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, he could have caught her and beat her ass. And then what? Then she would have been like, oh my God, he put hands on me. Like,
But even that, just imagine him stealing from her or taking from her. It would be a bigger
It would be
ridiculous.
a bigger, right. It wouldn't be,
yeah,
oh, wow, that's what he gets. It would be, oh my God, that poor woman.
For a woman,
Right.
it would be more
yeah,
sympathy for
I
her.
think it's
Or less
crazy.
than him.
I think the women out here, a lot of them, not all women, but a lot of women nowadays, either their parents are rolling in their graves or we got to find somebody's auntie to come and beat their ass because women are really wilding right now. Like, I think women are totally different. And I don't know if that's years of feeling like oppressed or controlled by men. Like, I'm not sure where it's stemming from, but I think women nowadays have bigger balls than men, but they're stupid about it.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. It happens that way.
But maybe she got enough money, so much money, to go and do plastic surgery, change her face. Ain't nobody gonna know she stole nothing. So
She got caught though. That's the thing. That's the crazy part. She got
caught her, like arrested her.
well. She's on Fox 5. They had her picture and everything. I'm gonna put it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if she paid the right doctor enough money, listen. Let me tell you something. If I was a plastic surgeon, I see it. But if I was a plastic surgeon and Shorty walked into my office like, "Yo, I got cash, no jewelry, just straight cash."
Right.
And if I don't watch Fox News or like think like, oh, I just seen her, like, sure, I'm gonna do this plastic surgery for you and make your cheekbones 3 inches higher and Botox and your jawline restructured, and you're not gonna look anything like what you used to look like.
Yeah.
So I think honestly, if they haven't caught her yet, I don't think they're gonna catch her until she commits another crime.
And then another thing is, now that the police are involved and it's been reported, it's probably going to be hard for her to even get that jewelry liquidated into the cash that she wants.
Yeah. Unless you go to a rapper or a private.
Right.
Overseas.
Yeah, facts. Because UK, they'll buy that for
they'll buy that so quick in the UK and all these places, Europe, all these places, Italy, it'd be gone. Sold.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
Trifling, shorty. Well, hopefully you don't get caught next time.
I know they call slipping out there for real.
Yeah. Right.
So the next one is I'll let you do get on this one, Pam.
So our next little topic or segment, whatever you want to call it, is Tila Tequila. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
She says that the Bible says Black women are cursed to be bald. She goes into a whole rant on Instagram or wherever she posted her video breaking down the Bible.
Wait, but like that's what Tequila looks like now?
That's what she looks like.
Like now, like she shaved.
If you watch the video, she's like, I'm beautiful, basically saying that Black women are not beautiful. And yes, if you are knowledgeable of the Bible, then the Bible does tell you that
Black women are cursed.
Black women, God's women, the people that God loves, he did curse them for breaking his commandments. Mm-hmm. So some of our women can't grow their hair out, but God only punishes who he loves. So, right. And it doesn't necessarily mean that all Black women are bald, because look at us, we're Black women with a head full of hair. We're beautiful, we're not.
Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't get to watch the video. I definitely know what you're saying. They definitely do say that and quote that in the Bible, but that is just so weird to come out of her mouth.
Yeah, she always been that way though. She's always been
outspoken, but like, what
she always been
racist
towards Black women. She always had a racist thing towards Black women. And back to the bald headed thing. I mean, anyone can take a piece of the Bible and flip it to anything that you want to put forward to the world. I can come up with something and say, hey, cheating on your spouse or anything you want towards anything to make it sounds good, to put it to the world and make it sound
exactly.
All Black women are bald headed. It's some Asian women that's bald headed, some white women that's bald headed. it goes down the line. And the reason why most women is bald headed, especially black women, because they put all this activator and all this stuff in their head to make them bald headed.
Because
Because
they don't know how to deal with their hair. That's why when
exactly,
girls ask me, hey, how did you get your hair this long and healthy, blah, 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 I tell them, you just have to learn your hair. Stop
Yeah.
just putting whatever in your hair because the next girl's putting that in her hair, because our hairs are not the same. You know what I
right,
mean? You gotta be knowledge. You gotta seek knowledge. If you want to anything about you or anything you do, if you want to be the best or it to be the best, you have to be knowledgeable of it so you can know how to train it to go how you want it to go instead of
right,
just putting whatever in your hair. And
right.
also, don't just be so quick to speak on what the Bible says about black people. Let's talk about what the Bible says about Asians.
White women.
You don't want to get into that.
Right, right. But that's what I'm saying. We can all make a fight on that. And it's just American women, they picked up that European mindset. Because if we are all in Africa, being bald headed is beautiful because it's hot as hell. But being in America, we got a European thought process where we need long hair, blue
But
eyes.
it's also like lack of education because the Egyptians had hair. They used all types of saps, all types of almonds. They had long locks. They had long hair, and that's if your hair is braided. Imagine how long it is when it's straight.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
by choice, most of them. But like she's probably pretty much referenced from American girls, but the most American women, they're being misled. So Bill Cosby released from all charges.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Because I'm here for it. Free Bill Cosby.
Listen, I don't ever want a black man sitting in jail, but so I'm happy that he's free and but do I think he's innocent? No, because I know that men in power do horrible things. So I don't think that he's innocent. And the whole reason why he went to jail is because he admitted to doing things to women, drugging them and then taking advantage of them.
Our president touched so many women that
He
I am making the exception and don't care. Bill Cosby need to be out of jail. He's 70 something. There are killers out on the street because COVID. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. Bill
Yeah.
Cosby need to be out of jail. And for the women who were violated, that's very unfortunate and it sucks. But at this point, Bill Cosby needs to be out of jail. And him going into jail does not do anything for them. If he gets fined, if they get a lawsuit payout, great. That actually helps their lives. But him
Right.
going to jail, that don't help nobody.
Right. What I think will happen is, because he's at an age right now, he just stopped playing duels. And what happened was, not saying he did it or not, but the women should have. Why they didn't go to the cops when it happened, or why they didn't solve?
I mean, I think a lot of women who are in that situation, me personally, I have not been in that situation, but from some women that I know personally who have been in things like that, they don't say anything right away because they just feel like, no, why would anyone believe me?
Right. But
it's Bill Cosby or it's this person. Why would anybody believe me?
Or they're like, what did I do to bring this on myself? Or like, yeah, what role did I play in this? Oh, I did go there for a job or whatever it is. I should have never went there. And I think to a lot of women already who get the rap of playing with fire for opportunities or like putting themselves in situations. And then there are some women who just don't care and will do that to get to the top. So I think women just have this like stipulation about them, like, I cannot come forward. And then, once you start hearing other people come forward, you're like, oh, fuck that. That should happen to me too.
Right. But my thing is, but they come forward 40 years later. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. At the time you feel like, hey, I can't come forward because XYZ, but we come forward.
Maybe they get support.
It's too late
to come out. I definitely do think sometimes it's very like crazy that you'll come out so much time later. But you know what, too? I do believe the laws changed as of lately within the last like 4 or 5 years with certain rape or sexual assault cases where there's like a certain statute of time limit that you're like allowed to file for their civil, and then I don't remember what the other one is.
Yeah, I think it's just it went down like this. They knew what they were going to the hotel for. Things went a little more extra than what they wanted to happen, and that's why they didn't say anything. Because it's just like a drug dealer going to buy drugs, and
And
then
then he gets robbed or
he
something
get
Yeah,
robbed.
he's
He's
not
not
going to
going
say
to go to the
anything.
cops and
because
say,
he
"Hey
was doing
guys,
something wrong in the first place. He
the
just didn't
first
know
right."
that it was gonna go
Because at
left.
that time they had husbands, they had something that was, and now that they're single and old, it's like, oh yeah, he did it now. No, you knew he didn't drag you in the hotel room. He didn't do all this stuff for you.
Right. You had to
Could.
well, first of all, why are you going to meet Bill Cosby in a hotel room if you need an opportunity? If you need an opportunity, you would meet him at the office, or you'd meet him at the television network, or you'd meet him at a restaurant.
Right.
You have to protect yourself as a woman
And not go certain places. That is so true, because my homegirl called me the other day and she was just like, oh, this guy wants to take me on a date, but he asked me to meet him at his house before we go on the date. And she's like, feeling uncomfortable about it. And I'm like, tell him that you don't feel comfortable with that and you're not going. You'll meet him at the restaurant.
Right.
And she's just like, well, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go, but I'm gonna tell him like I can't stay long. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why put yourself in that position? What reason do you have to meet him at his house when you could just meet him at the restaurant that he wants to take you on a date at? If you're not on that level with him, what are you meeting him at his house for? Just tell him. She just doesn't want to be rude or
even saying I'm not comfortable, though. I think that's giving him too much power. It don't even need to be said. It
exactly. I'm not meeting you at the restaurant.
Right.
Meet me at the restaurant. No, I can't meet you at your house. We'll meet there. And
exactly.
if you're so uncomfortable with that, we're not meant to meet.
Exactly.
Like, I think it just comes down to, like, a lot of people have fear. A lot of people seek approval. A lot of people
sticking up for yourself.
Yeah, don't have that. And I think that's why a lot of people follow versus lead. And that's why a lot of people end up in certain situations, because they just don't know how to advocate for themselves and maneuver in their self-interest. Like, they care about what people think, or they care about how they're going to look, or they care about what the next consequences are, instead of thinking about the initial moment, their safety, their priority, their big concern, what's meant for them, and everything else is irrelevant at that point.
I agree. I completely agree. I understand, like, because when we're younger, when I was younger, I always put myself in dumb situations that I didn't want to be in because I just felt like I had to, But then as a grown woman, I'm like, no, I'm nipping that in the bud right now. I'm not doing that. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to do that. I don't have to give you an explanation. I'm just not doing that. And it is what it is. If you don't want to take me on a date or you don't want to like me after that, that's what it is. Like, 100%. It just comes to a point where you have to take accountability for yourself. You can't be like, so if you go to this man's house knowing that you were already uncomfortable with it, and what reason would you have to go to his house and something happens?
I know the reason though.
Is he, of course we all know the reason, you know what I mean? Why do you want me to meet you at your house? If something happens, you can't sit here and be like, well, this man did this to me. Because why did you go? You already felt a weird feeling about it. Why would you go?
Because women want to see how he lived. Women want to see his personal status.
You think so?
Ain't none of that ain't enough of that in the world. You'll see how he lives when it's time. Like,
where are these women? I swear, I don't know if I should have been a boy, because the way my brain works, I don't be thinking like that at all. You would really be like, oh, I want to go see how he lives and what's inside his house and how much money he got.
Most women do when they're meeting guys. It's not even most of the time about looks anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got a homie that's a millionaire.
You know what? That is so, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that is so true, because when I was talking to the same homegirl, the key points that she was making, he got his own house, he lived by himself. Like, so I feel like she kind of did want to see like what the house looked like and like what his money was like, and thinking like that, you're gonna be put in a
situation. From Atlanta?
No.
But as a guy, he's like, yo, coming to the crib, you're getting smashed, and that's the difference.
Or meeting at a hotel, you're getting smashed. I mean, what else? What are you doing?
I learned that when I was like 17, 18. Like, my parents had that talk with me that after 10 o'clock is hoochie mama hours and booty call hours. And I was 17. Like, mind you, I don't even think I could drive yet past a certain hour. Like,
Right.
but my parents let me know, like, if a guy is gonna call you at that hour, it's for one thing and one thing only. One thing and one thing only. And if you meeting at a hotel,
And what's
at
that?
a house, it's the pussy,
Period.
nani nani, the coochie coochie, the pum pum, all of that.
And
Like,
if you're with that, then cool. Like, all power to you. But if you're not and you're uncomfortable and you're scared and you don't want to be put in a position where you're doing something you don't want to do, or you have to call the scene or any of that, just don't go. Set boundaries now, not later. Don't go to his house and be like, no, I don't want to do that. Because
after you go the first time, you already done set the boundary. You can't
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because once you're telling me that you don't want to do X, Y, Z, but if you tell that man, okay, I'm coming to your house, you're letting him know without saying it, I'm open to doing something.
I'm DTF.
I got a question for you. A couple questions.
Okay.
So on the first date, right? What is the proper space?
I'm not eating.
Let it out, girl.
On the first date, what is the proper place to go or best thing
I'm gonna tell you how it's supposed to go. Y'all supposed to meet at a public place, not come pick me up. I'm not getting in no car with you. You're not calling me an Uber, gonna know my address. None of that bullshit. We're supposed to meet at the place. I drive my whip, you drive your whip. I don't got a whip. Guess what? I'm gonna take Uber or somebody gonna drop me off. I don't care.
What? The Uber driver know you're letting out play. Go ahead.
But that's different because I ordered it for myself. I'm ordering it for myself to go to this place.
I mean, first of all, Uber, I don't even know how that's a safe app. We told kids don't get in cars with strangers.
And we get in cars with strangers.
It's out of the window. Right, exactly.
It don't even make sense. But you know what? Maybe too, that's why women feel so comfortable now, because that is even just a regular thing.
Facts. But let me give y'all a vision on dates though. Let me give you. See, men spend so much money on in debt in dates alone, where they could have put that million into a business, right?
I agree.
I'm at the age where if you're dating, why do the man gotta go spend all this money on the first date? Shouldn't y'all know each other?
All right. So I think everyone is different. For me personally, I am so down to earth and I am so cool. And sometimes I consider myself one of the guys because I don't really function the way like a lot of females function. However, no, definitely not. But I'm the type of person, I'll go half and half with you on the first date because you're a stranger and I don't know you and I don't have any expectation. However, I
don't think no one knows to spend money.
Huh?
I feel like it doesn't have to be like
money.
Let's go. Let me go take you to eat. And no, like we could go walk around at the park and just get to know
but what
each
if
other.
y'all want to go do an activity and the activity costs money? No, like
and I can pay for my own self. And
listen, it shouldn't be the first date because how do you guys get to converse on what the goods or the bads are? So like.
But I don't think going half and half is bad because that shows as a woman I can hold my own shit. And that shows as a man you can hold your own shit. And that shows that we don't expect anything from each other as strangers.
But certain women act different after that Dutch though. Like
after what? After like going half and half like that?
Most women will put you in a friend zone because you went Dutch. And that's what it's a make it or break it thing.
Bello, most women will put you in the friend zone because you paid for the whole thing too. So there's no winning in that situation.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So I feel
that's why they should eliminate the financial risk.
Exactly. By saying, let's go on a date. I want to get to know you.
Right. Because let me tell you, I took a girl to a park one time, right? I mean, she was like
okay, Bello.
Hold on. Look though. I have to understand because I'm like, damn, I'm putting money places in it. I'm an investing guy. I love.
Right. You're not seeing no return.
Right.
I like return. So if I'm putting money somewhere, I gotta see where. You spend $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 on a date and just to smash, bro.
Or just to see if you guys have chemistry and you like each other. And what if she just doesn't like you? You don't know. She can tell you whatever, and she's.
I think if we like, let's go out. Everybody should just spend their own money, and if you get curved for that, you should tell that bitch bye. Because if you came on hard times in life,
when I went to the park,
clearly you know how it's gonna go.
When I went to the park, she started talking about how hungry she is and all this, and I'm like, see, I'm not your traditional dude. She looking at me like, okay. So I was like, hey, so where you from? What do you like to do? What type of work? You asking too many questions.
That's what she said.
I'm like, so why am I investing in something I don't even know about?
I would have
So
been like, thank you.
If she said that you're asking too many questions, how am I supposed to get to know you if we don't ask each other
I
questions?
left her there.
Well,
Right.
oh my God. I have a question.
I know you left her there.
Left
Were
her
you
straight.
asking the questions, like 21 questions, where it was like, so how do you, what's your
No,
job? How
no,
old are you?
No,
How many
no,
kids
no.
do you
I
want?
wasn't obsessive. No,
Like ding, ding, ding. Like, were you asking them like that?
nah. I'm conversing. Like, like, hey, what's going on? I don't even talk fast, so I'm just like,
I feel like she already let you know what her intentions were, which was to get some fucking food, you broke ass bitch.
she wanted that free meal.
Broke hungry bitch.
You should have been, you know what you should have told her? I would have been like, yo, I teach people how to fish and I teach people how to catch their food. Are you ready for it?
Yeah. When it got a damn.
I'm not going nowhere hungry.
She would have ran so fast, bro.
She ran for the question.
Nowhere hungry.
Okay, so now I have one question for you.
Mhm.
Because that was a teachable moment. Did you teach her something?
I taught her something.
Did you tell her and like explain it and break it down in a kind way? Because I think
No, I did.
God, our
did.
men have to start leading and doing that because these women do not have that guidance and they're not going to get it.
But they're not going to change either, though. They're not going to change because
you know what? They might not change right away, but that moment might play down somewhere down the line in their mind that like, wow, so and so did say something to me and I didn't catch it then, but I shouldn't have done that. I was so immature, or I was so whatever.
That's true, but the reason the women, you guys find men for food, for when you're bored, your phone will blow up. You'll know, like, oh, here they go, right? And you tell, what's up? I'm bored. So when women get bored, they use certain thing and use certain people to.
Yeah, they use women too. They use each other doing that shit too. I hate that shit, but I know it's call me like, hey, what are you doing for?
But men never bored. He just want to smash. I ain't gonna be 100. He never bored. He just want to smash. But women, when they're always chasing a guy. Not always, but most of them are always chasing a guy. That one guy don't really want them.
That's why they chase him.
Right. But the people that want her, she don't want them. So she's using that time because he don't want her right now. She's using that time to mess with these, take them out to dinner and lunch, to use this, and then she's still chasing him and he calling her B, bitch, get the fuck out my face.
But that's because nobody's in a relationship for love anymore.
That's true. Everybody's in a relationship because they need help or they want sex,
whatever.
Nobody's just in a relationship because we love each other and we want to be in a relationship.
I actually like you. I enjoy your company. I want to grow from you, learn from you, spend my time with you. I want my children to have your personality. Like, people don't even speak like that anymore. It's like unfathomable to me some days.
Joe Budden said something that in one of his songs that stuck with me. He said, for every bad B is one dude tired of fucking her.
Tired of fucking her, right?
Yep. Every bad B is one dude tired of fucking her.
I'm about to post that.
You go to Instagram, it's like 10 million she can got 10 million followers. Every dude is thirst trapping. It's one dude. Like, I'm tired of this bitch. Word up. He's like, oh, I'm tired. Like, it's out of every bad chick is one dude tired of fucking her. He's just like, oh.
That's a fact. And since we're on this topic, I want to bring up something that the rapper Moneybagg Yo said. He said, and I just want to know you guys' opinion on it. He said, in today's time, if you broke, you're not gonna have no faithful B. You might have one day rocking with you, but she ain't faithful.
That shit had me laughing so hard.
Same thing we're just saying. Nowadays you gotta have a status. And Kevin Samuel always say, there's a certain percentage that all women want, and that's true. Like, there's a certain percentage that all women want that same percentage. So when you get a guy that's broke, no woman, back in the day, women would take a man and build him.
Yeah.
Like a builder man, just like a lot of men build women up, right? Women don't build men up no more. They don't see potential. I seen a video. I'm gonna post it too. It's a video of a lady, Mexican lady. She found a Mexican dude on it was homeless. She found him, got him dressed, everything. He looked like damn The Rock because he go to the gym and he's swole, got his beard clean. He was a homeless dude, and she found him on the street one day. She just bring him food, and she like, let me build this nigga up. That nigga, he
Wow.
love that chick. He love her. He love her. You seen him in the video. He just like, oh, she's like,
Yeah, because you know
yeah.
what? I don't remember who said this. One of you guys may know. There was someone who was like, "Oh, women try to date people like their dads, and men try to date people like their mom." And I think there's some truth to that because obviously, like you said, like when you're building up a man or you're standing behind a man, like behind every strong man, there's a stronger woman. Like people, for the most part, whether that's a mom, whether that's a wifey, like, you know what I mean? There is generally that dynamic. And I think it's the same with women. Like you want a provider, like your father, someone who you know knows how to keep you safe. Like,
Right.
but I think that it's now so misconstrued with like money and everything that the media is highlighting.
Right.
Like even shows of love, they have all these extra producers like doing all these things for them as far as the scenery and like all these things, you know what I mean? So I don't think people even know what quote unquote love is or appreciation, you know, like when it starts as appreciation and it grows into love.
Yeah.
People don't even know that basic start.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like phones. I don't know if it's distractions. I don't know if it's just like one thing. Nature is something that happens over time and it happens slowly. So if you're out in the wild or you're out in nature, you kind of get to realize that and see how the world, quote unquote, really works.
Right.
I think as humans now with all these distractions and technology, people are just so detached. They don't even know what they're in a relationship for.
Yeah, they're not for love. Most of it is about money. And everything else is just. But if you broke, like I said, I told you guys about my homie that flew out of the country and pretty much got married to a foreign female. Money changed your life.
Yeah.
It put you in places that you never been.
Yeah.
You can meet people that you never met.
Mm-hmm. Can experience things you couldn't even imagine or dream of.
Right. You can have a culture of food that you never heard of, but then you try it and you fall in love. And then the woman, she makes the best food. So it's just money do change lives. It's just people put money first, and money and looks first before love. And like I said, you can reach out. Like right now, I could be promoting for a singer, and I hit her DM like, "Yo, I like your music. I want to do something with you. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay you whatever for the service and stuff. Cash at me now for my time. Cash at you for your time. Like,
what did you do?
You didn't get nothing. You got 500 followers. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, if anything, you should be like, yo.
But even if like,
your shit.
Yeah, but like even if she had, I don't know, 40,000 followers, at the end of the day, like somebody just reached out to you, offering you capital, offering you an opportunity, offering you support. Like you didn't hear none of that. All you heard was, "Where's my money now?"
I will pay you if we do a song and start getting money and views and stuff like that. But she just want money just for her time.
Yeah, I mean
You're
that
not
is
Beyonce, you're not Halle Berry, you're not none of them, right?
Yeah,
I can hit up the Maya singer and say, "Hey Maya, let me pay you for your time," right?
Yeah.
She would be helping me out because now I can do a video with her, and then people say, "Yo, you was with Maya, but
right.
you basic chick. What am I gonna get from you?"
Right.
Okay. Yeah, money
100%.
change.
I mean, I definitely like kind of agree. I think with the statement made, it's not everyone, obviously, but it is like 90% of women or 85% of women right now.
Yeah. And I also feel like some people feel like, oh, like, okay, there'll be a woman who was already struggled with a man. You know what I mean? She already struggled. She already built a man, and that relationship didn't work. So why should she in her next relationship go get another broke man that she has to build up? She doesn't want to do that. She wants somebody that could match her hustle, and I don't feel like people should be offended by that. You know what I mean? If I feel like as long as whatever you're asking for you can offer, then what's the
I'm not.
problem?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would love to get a woman with the same drive.
Mm-hmm.
Same drive come with the same problems or different problems.
Exactly.
What you
So
mean when you say that?
meaning you would get a woman. Most women with good bread and a good career, they have a offside. They don't have kids. They got a lot of detractors because they made it that far, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would get them, and then it would be more or less. She's not a homebody. She's always out of town.
Now it's a power,
Now it's a
struggle
power.
for power.
Now it's
Like,
a power struggle. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's never out of town. She's never in town. She's always on the move. She's all because she's making bread, right?
Yeah.
So I would rather get a woman that's normal.
regular homebody, can take care of the kids in the home, and
That's it. That's it. So all women, you got different types. All
Well,
women.
yeah, it's like who want to lead, gotta lead, and who want to follow, gotta follow.
Some men don't have kids right now. Some men is still living that, and they would be matched together. Because when he travels, she travels. But I'm not going. I can't go out of town for 2 or 3 months, and I got kids. Because what Junior gonna do? He need me there to keep him alpha.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a good thing for different people. It's just hard because that power strong woman, yeah, she would want a dude. She would want a dude to be matched with her, but it won't be a perfect fit 9 times out of 10.
It might be harder, yeah. Or like,
Because
the kids might suffer because now we got nannies and we can afford nannies and we can afford chefs, but
and
don't
then
know
she can get up,
whatever.
she can get up and leave at any time. So who will have the like any situation? Someone need an upper advantage because that's how you keep it. That's how you keep it tight. To be honest with you, I know it sounds crazy.
No, there's got to be some kind of balance.
Somebody got to have the upper advantage because if you got $1 million and I got $1 million, you can get up any day on the smallest argument. Like, oh, he don't brush his teeth the same way I want him to do. You can do. I'm gone. But if you didn't
That's
have
just
that,
insane.
you can
Even
say,
if
you know what?
had that money. That's insane.
I'm gonna find my way to love this man because I need this man as well. Like I need him too. Like he need me. But a woman, when they get money, the least thing they find, they gone. They gone.
not all women, but some
can't be
majority. Yes,
Most.
I don't know. What happened to the power couple that they love to travel and they don't have kids and they both got money? Where they at?
That's the good times. What about the bad times? She don't need to stay with you. With him at this time.
I think people just need to like check their personalities and their spirits, and everybody needs to go on like, I don't know, some kind of mental retreat somewhere in the mountains of Peru, because you're right. I totally agree. But I think that just sounds crazy that you don't like how somebody did something, so you go up and leave because you have money, and if you didn't have money, you wouldn't. Like I can't even wrap my head around that.
I can, because she's gonna just go and buy her house, and then even if they're still together, they're gonna be living separately because she's gonna be like, fuck it, I don't need you.
It's just crazy to me that people like really kill and die for money. Like I don't get it. I don't know. Like, and it's crazy because like my parents are Jamaican. I'm first generation here. You would think me growing up in the States and like having a little more comfortable of a lifestyle that I would really value that like so highly. Don't get me wrong. I obviously make sure I'm good and I'm straight and all my people are straight. However, it's just like not, I don't know. I feel like more problems come with a bigger lifestyle and more money, like way more problems than if you were just happy.
Right. Because I met this girl. She was a plumber. And
a plumber?
Well, not a plumber, but she worked.
I thought you said
she worked for a plumbing company, but
I didn't know what we were saying.
I paid for her school. I'm young. I paid for her school. She went to college and everything. You know, we went all the way out, right?
Y'all got married?
We went all the way out, right? Doing the thing. I helped her with most of everything. Even when she's doing homework, I'm watching the kids cooking and stuff. So like 3, 4, 5 years, she got her master's, right? Soon as she got the master's, making, I know you probably heard the story from that point, making this amount of money a year, shit changed. Tremendous.
how'd she change? Like, was she just like prioritizing money, or did she change like completely and became this accomplished person, proud of herself and striving for more and like
became a bitch, and then started doing things. See, at first she needed me, so when she needed me, we can be on the same page and be like, okay, all right, cool, everything is brushed off. But when things start getting a little tough, where I'm like, hey, can you help me clean today or something, or can you clean up? Fuck you talking about? Like, it started being a angry type of emotion, and I'm like, oh, I never saw this side of you before. Like,
guess what? She was just messy, because you should not want to live in your own mess. Even if someone didn't ask you to clean it up, you should want to clean that shit up your damn self, because you just don't like it.
That's facts, but you got to understand this. Now, it wasn't even the fact about the cleaning. Now it's the fact that I'm not listening to the shit you saying. I'm making $250,000 to $300,000 a year. Bye.
And that's crazy.
She'll come back.
I have a question. Was she like ungrateful? Like, or was she still like, yo, I appreciate you, this just isn't what I want?
And after we split up, yeah.
After you guys split up, okay.
And then they got somebody else, and then they did the same thing to her, and then she realized it from the outer lens.
Wow, how it felt for you.
How it felt, and then it came like, you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't know it was like that.
Wow. Karma's a bitch.
They helped that person out. He got in the army, he got a lieutenant, start making bread, and he started acting the same cycle.
It's really sad.
About that, he started beating her, and he cheated on her, got another girl pregnant. He was doing all kind of crazy shit. She looking like, yo, you would have never did none of that before.
Right.
Wow. That sucks that she had to go through that, but it's also like God or whoever y'all believe in had to come and knock her off her pedestal and make her like, because that's the thing too. I think as humans, we forget that even if we accomplish something so great, it doesn't mean you're better than anybody.
And it doesn't mean that tomorrow it can't be stripped from you.
100%. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I think as humans, we just, I don't know. I think time and technology and everything is moving so fast.
Has people
don't even
they don't live in reality. They just live in these like alternative universes where they just don't see reality. The perception's messed up.
Yeah.
Facts. I believe it.
100%.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It really is, because it's like, you know, what am I? I'm a millennial. So I can only imagine. I had to think about that for a second.
I know, right? I'm a millennial.
I was like, what am I? Gen Z. I can't imagine what it would be like growing up in Gen Z. I can't imagine what it would be like growing up. What is the next one? Gen X? Yeah, like with an iPad in my hand, and that's what I know at 4 years old, 3 years old, 2 years old. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but I think everybody's built in the right time. Like, some people say I'm an old soul. I should have been born in. Yeah, because I'm
an old soul. I should have been born at 10 years earlier.
We couldn't be slaves. We couldn't have been slaves.
Oh, I would have died.
That's my point. So
or I would have been a whore inside the house.
I would have been somebody's whore in the house.
I would be like, this how it works?
You still
I swear to God. I'd be like, this what it is?
Period.
Okay. We got
live in the house, nigga.
For real, but I'm saying I think everybody's born in their right times, like time frame.
Right.
I don't know, man. I just don't see the world actually getting to be a better place. Like, technology and all. California is the one place that I've been. I wish I could go to Japan, but California has been the one place that I've been that I've seen how technology works, and it's like a playground everywhere, and I love it. But other than that state, I actually think technology is more harmful to us than beneficial.
Of course. Like, you know, I gave you guys that Mississippi story many times. So people in Africa that lives in huts have access to Wi-Fi, and they're walking around with LA Laker hats on because they can order stuff. And they live in dirt, walking barefoot.
Yeah.
So times
have changed.
Internet, times changed. Internet opened people's horizons to more things. Now, It's more bread in the world. You know what I'm saying? Now that you can make it, that's why I like it. The bread, the
I
money.
definitely love that aspect, but I just don't know if everybody's really using it in the best way. Like, I don't think we have, like, I think these resources should be distributed, like, to as many people who don't have them. However, I feel like there should be like classes on how to properly use them. You know what I mean? Use them to your benefit, but also to mentally and spiritually keep yourself intact and social. You know what I mean? Like, I think we talked about this previously that, you know, with like social media, people actually haven't even, people from Gen Z, I believe it's Gen Z, haven't, most of them haven't dated in real life, like in person, one-on-one, because they don't know how to socially even, you know, communicate. They're awkward, they're uncomfortable, they have anxiety. Like, you shouldn't have anxiety just to talk to somebody who you don't know. You
Facts.
don't know them. You shouldn't even care what they think about you.
Facts, though.
Keep it pushing. There's how many other millions of people in this world? So, I mean, I definitely see Moneybagg Yo's like point, but I don't know. We gotta get this together. Where are these women?
Right.
Where are
That's
these
facts.
men?
That's
They
facts.
need classes.
That's facts, though. So what do you guys know about the track runner? What do y'all think about the track runner?
The track runner.
What's her name?
Shakari.
Shakari Richardson, or is that her name?
They needed to let my shorty run. I am livid over this situation. I don't care. The last time I checked, we don't make your legs work better. It just isn't that situation. And at the same time, I don't know if you guys heard, there were two, I believe they were Jamaican track stars as well, and they got disqualified from another race because they had some, I don't remember what it was in their system, but they took cough medicine because they were under the weather days ago and it was in their system and they couldn't run. So all this little hoopla we out here, no, I don't think so. Weed is legal in how many states?
A whole bunch.
Exactly. I think at this point that needs to be ruled out. That's weed. And if you have something in your system from a cough medicine or any medication, same thing. It's medication. It's either prescribed to you or it's over the counter. You should not be disqualified for that or exempt. You can't run, participate in anything. That's
right.
ridiculous.
I agree. Yeah, I know my background loud. You hear that?
My background's pretty loud too.
Yeah, I mean, she should have known better though. But like you said, it should be legal. We, you know, politicians smoke it, police officers smoke it, everybody smoke it nowadays.
Everybody's smoking that shit. And
I feel like
it's
she was like she's big. She didn't even run in the Olympics, and we all know her. Everybody wants to know her story. Everybody's talking about her. I just feel like because of that, she should have been more on her toes, you know, to know that they were looking for any reason to X us out of the story, you know, because that's always what they're trying to do. But I just feel like the people that are like trying to say like they're not gonna watch, or I feel like that's messed up because there are people in the Olympics that didn't smoke weed and are still eligible. So
no, I think we should boycott
I
it.
don't feel like they should have to suffer because one person decided to smoke weed.
I think
Yeah.
everybody in the Olympics should.
That's what it is.
Her team should have said something though. Her team should have said something.
Listen, if you found out your mom died and you didn't even find out in a proper way, what would you do? And would you even participate and still run? Because I know everybody else would have walked off that track. That girl is a champion.
I mean, some people deal with pain differently. You know, some people need, when they go through things, they like, personally me, I don't want to sit in my depression. You know, I want to do what I love if I'm sad because I feel like I'm going to perform better when I have pain, you know? So I understand why she chose to run still, but I mean, you're an Olympic, you know, trying to be in Olympics. Why would you smoke weed and think that you're just going to get away with it?
Listen, Shorty got long orange hair and nails on the track. She going to get away with everything because that's just who she is.
But she didn't get away with anything. So obviously she felt that, but she didn't.
I think, honestly, we got to stop being like, oh, our people got to be more on their toes because white people control. No, we got to stop with that, because little Tommy and little Maddie and little JJ, who are of the Jewish community, could pull a hit and run and kill somebody and get off. Because their white people support them. And we got to stop doing that. I feel like as a community, guess what? If Janika, Tanisha, Shaquasia, Lele, Lala, Dash with an I and an A did something wrong, I'm not telling them they did something wrong till we get home. Because you know what? I'm tired of our people being out in the streets. I'm tired of us being like, oh, well, that's wrong and that's right. We don't get those rules. White people don't have to play by those rules. Why should we? Why should we? And why do we do it to our own people? I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Whether it's wrong or it's right.
Because they're from the Caucasus Mountain.
The what?
I said because they're from the Caucasus Mountain.
Yo, it's crazy. Like, it's really crazy the way the world works. It's all about representation. And if she had the right white lawyer and the right white PR, nobody would even dare say that shit about her. If she had the right Jewish PR, nobody would dare.
It wouldn't have hit the media the way it hit.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And for so many of us from our own community to be saying that, like, I've had this conversation with multiple people. I've been so disappointed in us as a group of people. Been so disappointed.
And I feel what you're saying. I just feel like people shouldn't turn their backs on the other Black people that are still eligible to run just because one isn't. That's not fair. Why should they not have our support? We're still in there. Just because this one particular person fucked up her chance doesn't mean, okay, well, fuck the other Black people. That's stupid.
It's bigger than the Olympics. It's bigger than the Olympics. I think that's what we're missing. It's the same thing. Like, it's like being like, it's like taking George Floyd's death and saying it's only about George Floyd. It was way bigger than George Floyd. George Floyd just happened to be the longest one we caught on tape with as many other bystanders.
A death to somebody smoking weed and not being.
You can, because it's still always racial oppression. Whether it's a drug, whether it's a gun,
it's clear of the rules. If you choose to say, all right, I'm gonna try to wiggle in here, then you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. That's all I'm saying. Take accountability for what you did, and yes, it sucks, but that's what it is.
I think she took accountability, but I don't think she should have been violated.
She should have been able to not run. Of course not, because we did not enhance your running.
I think it's way bigger than the Olympics. First of all, if we went and did our own Black Olympics, which we have had our own things back in the day when we had segregation and we needed approval and we wanted equality so badly. For what? For what? Because you know damn well they needed us in their Olympics because we are faster than them. They needed us in their NBA because we tear their ass up. I think it's way bigger than that.
It's bigger.
It's systematic injustice. That's really what it comes down to. Because I'm telling you, if her name was Cynthia and she was clean cut with a Jewish lawyer, they wouldn't dare.
That's not true, because Michael Phelps was caught doing drugs and he was not allowed to play and he was shamed. And
that was like not the first time Michael Phelps was caught though either.
I think he still swam though. Didn't he still swim that year?
He did still swim that year. Yeah.
He still swam.
He was exempt from like one event, but he was still able to compete in everything else. Like, and that's my point, is there's so much of that. And listen, that's fine. But I think we all got to get on the same page with our people and stop being like, oh, you knew the consequences, serves you right. Like, because no, Tommy knew the consequences.
I don't think it served her right. I just don't think it's fair to the other Black Olympians that don't get our support because Shakara isn't running. That's all. I just think that's not fair.
I get it. I've
been watching her since college, and I'm not watching it now because it's one of them things.
I was never gonna watch the Olympics, but if she was running, I would have, because she was so big and like everybody was talking about it. It was crazy. So it's not like, but when I heard the other Black people, that were in the Olympics say like it's not fair because we still are here. It's not like we're not in at all. We're still here. It's just this one person who has to sit down for a little bit and regroup.
But
you know what I'm saying?
What are you doing it for? Are you doing it to be watched, or are you doing it to win? You shouldn't care if other people aren't going to support and watch. Are you doing it to prove to yourself that you're the best and beat that record and beat that time? Then that's all that should matter. You still have the opportunity to do that. You shouldn't worry about who's watching and how big it is. You're
But
still
everybody and everything you do, you want support at the end of the day. You want your people to support you.
I'm sure whoever has like people who are invested in them are definitely watching and not going to not support. That would just be insane if I personally knew you and you were running in something and I just didn't watch. I would just be a shitty person to you. But I think if you're going to be that big of a name and that big of an athlete, you shouldn't be crying baby because other people aren't going to watch you win. You should just go do what you got to do, win, take your title, and from there, keep jumping through hoops and elevating yourself and keep shining. Like, I don't think that should take away from what you do.
Right.
Especially knowing that the situation wasn't really handled the best anyway.
Right.
It doesn't take your opportunity away from you. In fact, it actually gives you so much more opportunity because you're not racing against her and she would probably win.
Right. Correct.
I feel like those people are just being babies, honestly, because when you're a champion, it's between you and yourself and that track or whatever sport you're doing.
Right. And I can't talk much too, man. For some reason, it's like a noise in my background. I think it's my computer or something, so that's why I'm like muted.
Oh, that's funny.
We're about to close out. I'm going to ask you the question, and then we can close out. Dia, you can close out that it opened.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a question of the day for Belo, since you're the man in the building. We want to know, which do men prefer? This has been big on the internet. Do men prefer natural butts, which may come with a gut, or enhanced and flat tummies?
That's hard. It depends, like both.
Does the tummy still have the surgery marks?
Sometimes it do, but I'm a cake guy, so me it don't matter. You feel me? Like,
right.
But most men will say the natural. You know what I mean? But if you're looking for a dude that loves Instagram models, then they'll look for that type of style. So with me, I don't have a preference, to be honest. Most
people don't even know what natural is anymore.
No.
Right, because now it all wiggles.
People swear and tell me that I got my body done. My titties are fake and my ass is fake. And I'm like, bro.
It used to be like where it don't wiggle. Now it wiggles.
It wiggles because they're getting
like stuck.
They're getting fat transfers. So that's what I mean by enhanced. They're not necessarily fake because it's not from another part of the body. So it's still gonna wiggle. It's still gonna look juicy and real.
Right. So it don't matter though, with stomach and all that, because at my age, women have kids. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Wi-Fi thing.
You're glitchy.
I'm a robot.
You can go ahead and close us out.
All right. I'm gonna close this thing out.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining us in this episode. Follow our link below to stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram, and we can't wait to kick it with you next week. Every week, don't get it twisted.